Hi guys, how's it going? Welcome back to my channel. I am just going to do a walkthrough of my 2022 Project Life album, and I'm going to split this up into two videos because it's quite a big album. Like, she's quite big. I think I've said this before, I don't mind big chunky albums, so I tend to not really care too much if the album bulges out. So that's why I'm going to split this into two, but either way, probably good to grab yourself a cup of tea or something, just because this is going to be a long one. But yeah, as far as I can remember, I will try to tell you what I use in any particular layout, but if I can't remember, I do apologize. If you particularly want to know where something's from, I can probably find that information, so drop me a comment down below and then we will figure it out. Anyway, jumping right in, a bit of context in this particular album. I actually only finished a few weeks in this album before I stopped working in it completely. So last year was a bit of a challenging year for me, and so I pretty much couldn't create. And it was hard. So up until a point, I stayed up to date. Then I did one or two layouts for, I think, maybe June, July Kidoli kits. And then after that, I fell off the wagon because in July, I injured myself. So on top of, not having a great time generally at the beginning of last year, I injured myself, and which meant I was basically stuck in bed for 2 months. I had got a spinal injury and I had to have surgery. So I will flag when that comes up, because in those weeks I barely took any photos as well. So normally I would do a 2-page layout per week, but in this particular instance I had to do just one layout per week because I had no photos that I took in those times. And even the photos that I did take, you'll see that they're not actually my photos, they're often photos that were sent to me. But yeah, jumping right in, this was my title page. I used the Begin Story Kit from Ali Edwards to do this title page, and honestly I did this towards the end of the year, so this is the most recent thing that I did. I'm going to actually, probably so you can see properly, there you go, that's a bit better. We'll move that down. So, sorry about the glare. That is life. The sun shines and this is plastic. So that's my title page. Now, this was week 1. I used the Glow Story Kit from Ali Edwards. And the thing with this is that it was, I used a different card for the title card, but ended up switching it out because I didn't like how it looks. So I much prefer how this looks, but that's the only card from this kit that I got from another source. And I'm pretty sure this card is from the Storytelling Basics collection that came out a few years ago. So then there's that side. This week was the week between, from the 1st of January to the 9th of January, which means that we weren't really working. We had a pub crawl. We spent some time down at the river, in the water. That's part of the pub crawl. So my mother-in-law's birthday. So yeah, it was just a relaxing, chill week. And I started from the 1st of January, even though this is longer than a week. I just thought it'd be nice to have the whole month in there. So that's that one. And then, as you can see, then there's this one. This whole page is all about my friend's 40th birthday party that we organised. This layout is from a Kidoli Kits design team project, so I'm pretty sure this might be Maggie Holmes, but I'm not 100% sure. Sorry about that. But yeah, most of this layout is actually my friend's 40th birthday, but then we also had a wedding photo shoot for work, and that's what these photos are from. And then we also went to go see The Wizard of Oz with some friends. So you can see it properly there. That's that one. I enjoyed using some vellum here and so forth. Next up is a week that we did a photo shoot for my work, which was really, really fun. We had a blast, and a lot of those photos revolve around that photo shoot. Basically on this side, it's all of that. I talked about my hair. Oh, actually, there, my journal talks about how I've been really struggling, so it was nice to be genuinely happy. So a bit of context, just before this album started, I actually lost a person who's quite important to me in my life, and I was really struggling with that around about this time. It was my grandma's birthday, and we celebrated that, and then just hung out with my daughter. But yeah, so that's kind of that, and I'm pretty sure this might be might also be Maggie Home. So I'm pretty sure that's the same collection as this one, but obviously slightly different. So there's that one that you can see. Moving on to week number 4. Again, a design team layout because I was really starting to lose steam a little bit. So that is week 4. This was the week of, I was doing my personal training course, so I had to write a program and Emma joined in, which was quite cute. Went to the movies with some friends, which was great. Buying stuff for Emila's school because she was starting school the week after. What else did we do? I did my pole dancing class. Really, this was just like a hodgepodge of little things. Again, at this time, not really in the best frame of mind, so I didn't take that many photos. And this looks like it could be simple stories though, this particular kit. And again, it was design team. I don't know if I said that. Moving on to the next layout. This is one where my daughter started kindy and I saw a fringe show with my friend. Emma had her hair done and I used a Studio Calico kit for this particular layout. And so that's why the colours are all very matchy. I didn't actually do this. I picked the cards and everything for this layout quite early on, but I didn't do this layout until later. And once I get to the point where, I'll point out to you when I get to the stage where I stopped actually creating, but this layout I actually did recently, even though I picked the cards out a while ago. Moving on, here we are going into February and we are using another Studio Calico kit. I love the pastels, the pastel rainbows of this kit, that's why I grabbed it. And I used these beautiful pieces from Colorcast Designs in this layout. Another one so this layout, this one here and the one after is another one that I actually didn't do until recently. So it's not always nice to kind of remember when bad things happen and you don't want to think about it. Like, I know I was actually like really miserable this particular night, so I didn't really want to think about this evening or how I was feeling this week. So I just let it go and I finished this layout when I was in a better headspace. And the thing to remember is like you are crafting for you and you are designing these things for yourself. So if you are not in a good place, then don't force yourself to create because it's going to make you miserable and no one wants that. So yeah, I let these be and I finished them when I was in a better headspace, and I actually really love how these pages look, even though the memories of this week is bad, but that's fine. Moving on. This may be, not quite, this is almost the last layout that I did, again using a Studio Calico kit that I got online. So I basically just ordered a bunch of past kits from Studio Calico from last year and I had them all shipped in one. So I don't subscribe to Studio Calico, but I do like their kits, so I occasionally top them up based on ones that I like. I didn't have many photos this week, so a lot of these, like that one is my parents took that one. I took a photo of the book that I was reading. This is actually the beginning of my reading journey of 2022. I read a lot last year, It was like my way of escaping reality. And so this is actually the book that started that. And from here on out, like you'll see there's a lot of layouts that talk about reading stuff because I hadn't read as much as what I did last year ever. I think I read 60 books last year, and before that, the most books I read was 45 in a year. So yeah, I really embraced the reading last year. So that is that side. Had a work market, which was exciting. Did some more pole dancing, but this was actually the last pole dancing I did because I didn't sign up for the next round, and then the next round after that, I actually had injured myself, so I couldn't do that. I actually really like how this layout turned out. What was I using? I can't remember the name, but it was from Coco Vanilla Studios, and it was another design team layout. And I really liked it. It had these like oranges and bluey colors. Like that was pretty much the color scheme there, and I really loved it. We had my friend's birthday, all you can eat, all you can drink brunch, and it was really fun. And also Emila's starting to learn how to write her name, which I was shocked by in this particular week. And it was our anniversary, so I had a Facebook memory pop up. It's of when we got engaged. So 9 years from that date we got engaged, which was crazy to me. I really liked how I did this card, where Didn't like the background because there were people behind us. So I cut out our faces. I stuck it on a piece of orange card, and then I stuck that onto this background which matched the rest of the kit. And it was a way to bring in more papers from the kit, but also to just then blur out the background, which I didn't enjoy. So that was a fun one. Here, gosh, looking through this, like this was a really challenging week for me. I took these 2 photos when I went for a walk to just process life, and so I don't have many photos. I didn't take this photo. I went book shopping here, so it was a lot of photos about books that I read because that's kind of all I had the emotional capacity to do. And this was another design team layout, and I don't remember what kit this was. It's potentially, looks like it could be a bit of everything. That was like a filler card that actually didn't have anything to do. I think that's from Cocoa Vanilla Studios. This might be Heidi Swap, or I don't remember. If you know, let me know down below, but if not, I'm sorry about that. Also, throughout the book, you're going to see I do things like here, where I've got one of Emila's friends is in the photo, and I haven't got permission from their mum or their dad to share the photos online, so I stuck a sticker over it. Okay, sorry about that. My mum came over, so I don't know when I stopped, but I don't remember what I was saying. So we'll move on to the next one. So this one is another design team layout. Like I said, a lot of these are design team layouts because I just wasn't in the mental space to create. But I really like how this turned out. It's my daughter's birthday, so this is my layout about my dad's birthday that came on one side, and then usually when it's my daughter's birthday, I have a little insert so I can have more photos for her birthday and her birthday party. So that is this, and again, I don't remember what the kit was. I'm so sorry. This potentially could be Pink Fresh though. I reckon it might be Pink Fresh. Anyway, moving on, there is this one. I used a bit of wood veneer pieces from Colorcast Designs to bring in a little bit of a different texture. And this is definitely Vicky Bouton. I am certain of it because I love that rainbow. And I remember this rainbow is actually not from a kit, but from the backing paper and the stencils that we got in one of the Kidola kits, which was really cool. This was the day after my daughter's birthday we were celebrating, and this is actually the last layout that I did for a long, long, long time. So I had stopped creating way back before this. I think this might have been the only layout, the one that I did for first week might have been the only layout that I actually did based on the timing, like I did it right away. The rest were all design team layouts, and from here on out it's mostly catch-up layouts. So I stopped creating here, so I definitely stopped creating full stop in March. Like I just didn't want to do anything, so I did absolutely nothing from March onwards. And so this was the last one I did. Now, this was funny. Every single person in Emila's life got her the same birthday card, and I was like, that has to be documented. Smashed my tire. So much fun. I got a nice bookcase. So I've got a little reading nook for myself here. I'll show you properly there, which was really nice. So that's kind of what I documented this week. It was really good. This was, I think, the June or July Kidola kit. Sorry, my brain. This is Heidi Swap. This is the Sun Chaser collection, and I know that because I'm currently using that Sun Chaser collection to do a summer album. So I really love this collection. It's probably my favourite one that was released last year, and it was stunning and beautiful and amazing. And this is all about what happened this week. A lot actually happened. This was about working. I had an iron infusion. I took a picture of my bookcase. This is all the books that I had to read. Emila joined my parents on a golfing trip. I did lots of reading here as well. Like I said, a lot of these layouts, or a lot of these photos are about reading. Moving on, here is photos that I had printed, but I never actually worked on the layout until recently. So what I did is around October last year, when I started to feel a bit better from my injury, I decided to bulk print photos, and every photo from here on out I just used a printing service. I think I used Harvey Norman here in Australia. So I organised and printed all of my photos in maybe a 1 week period. and I put them all in the album, and then I started to go through and systematically do the layouts. It was a lot of work between October, I think it was like mid-October to the end of December. I did all of the layouts, and I didn't do anything in December because I was doing December daily. It was a lot. It was intense, but I'm so glad I did it, and I will never let myself get this far behind again because it was a lot of work to do all of this. But anyway, moving on to this actual layout, I used Cocoa Vanilla Studios. I think this might be the Storyteller collection. It's a different one to the one I used previously, and I really liked this collection. We didn't get this as a kit in Kiddola Kits. We got a few elements from it, so this is just one that I did. I bought all the cards and I bought the whole collection basically, which I loved. Okay, what happened this week? It was our anniversary week. We celebrated our wedding anniversary. Did a lot of reading, spent time at the beach, did pottery painting with Erin, because Erin, that's my best friend / boss, she does these amazing, she makes pottery. She's got her own wheel at home, and so eventually every now and then we go over her house and we paint a bunch of the pottery, which is super fun. Moving on, I use that same collection here. Now, I don't normally use the same collection back to back, but in this instance, the photos really matched quite well, so I really wanted to do that. Again, used that same collection. This was my second cousin's wedding, I think. So that's my mum, that's her cousin, and that's her son that got married. I don't know what that relation is, but I just call them my cousins. They're actually triplets and they're adorable, and I can't believe one of them's married. Now, moving on, this is a... this was the day that I was on a podcast, and it made me so happy. I was on the Simple Scrapper podcast, and so I took a little selfie as I was doing that, and putting that back in there. And so, yeah, that's the wedding, and my favourite photo of the wedding is that one of Justin and Emma having a little dance, which was really cute. Moving on, so all of this was done from October last year onwards, so now I know exactly what kits I used because I remember it from recent memory. This was my birthday week, and I used a Paper Person shop kit. I think this was the Valentine's Day kit that I used, so the February kit from last year. And I did some stamping as well, and I had a lot of photos, so I printed them using 3 photos in one, so I could fit a lot of photos into this layout, and it worked out well. I was quite happy with that. This photo makes me laugh because I'll show you, we were just walking home, and after we went to the gym and got coffee, and then Justin just stopped and stared at me, and I turned around and I was like, what's going on? Why are you not walking? And he just continued staring until I got what was happening there. So I thought that was really funny, and I took a photo. Moving on now, I did a lot. I really like how this turned out, this layout. I used elements from the Strong Story Kit and the Laugh Story Kit, and then I did lots of stamping for my journaling. And this is also from Paper Person Shop, this card. So everything else is stamped, and the thing that I really love about this layout is that in every photo that Emma is in, she's wearing the same dress, and these were all taken on different days. It was just a week that she was obsessed with this particular Frozen dress and she refused to take it off. So that makes me laugh a lot. Sometimes we look through these and we get a bit of a surprise, and because I forgot that I'd written this story, and now I don't want to read that story. So moving on to the next one. This was so cool because the thing that kickstarted me wanting to work on this album again is I cleaned out my craft room. I did a massive clean out, and I actually document that in here, which you'll see later, probably in the next video. But the really cool thing is I found this entire kit from last year from Cocoa Vanilla Studios, and I'd forgotten that I got that entire collection, and I'd packed it away and I forgot about it, so I could use it all in this album, which made me super happy. This is when my brother and I got matching tattoos. I'll show you properly. We got matching tattoos. I got the lion and he got the cheetah. I had work this week. We went for my friend's birthday and painted pottery. Different friend and different pottery painted. But yeah, it was good. Yeah, just lots of little memories. My friend Andrew and I accidentally showed up to work wearing the same pants, and so we were completely matching, which is funny. Moving on, I used, now this I believe is the Delight Story Kit from Ali Edwards. So I had a bunch of story kits that I was just needing to use, and so I just used that. This was like the first project that I did using the Delight Story Kit, because I just thought this is a good way to use those products. So I used the Delight Story Kit, and it's possibly one of my favorite layouts of the year. I don't know if it's my favorite, but definitely up there. I really enjoyed how I paired the chipboard with the little heart and these little phrases that I got in like a sheet, which was really cool. And I had these for ages. For ages and ages and ages, I had them. This was Mother's Day. Also, this is my father-in-law's birthday. And then these ones are all from Mother's Day, which was nice. I don't know if you celebrate Mother's Day in America in May, or if it's Father's Day that's different. But yeah, this was Mother's Day. Father's Day is in September. Let me know down below which one it is that is different and which one it is that's the same. Here I actually just used my stash. This is probably the first layout that I did where I use entirely my stash, and I don't love it, but I don't hate it. So yeah, it's fine. It was a week that we had a few events on, so it was the Mother's Day thing at Emila's school, so I went over and they painted nails and they painted these beautiful portraits and stuff. It was stunning. A friend of mine released her bridal collection, and so we went to her runway show, and then she personalised a little note for everyone. I'll show you there. And it was so sweet, and I wanted to keep the note, so I just slotted it in there. I know that it's in there. Oop, this is stuck now. I know that it's in there, and if you look through my album you might not notice it, but that's fine. I realise it's there and I can go back and read it whenever, and it was such a sweet personalised note that she wrote for everyone, so it was like really beautiful. We also went to a gala that was organised by one of our stallholders. So I run markets and we have these incredibly talented stallholders, and one of them organised a fundraiser gala, so we went to that. Here I used the Awesome Kit from Ali Edwards. You can see properly there. And this week was Justin's birthday week. We went away with friends it was actually just over a long weekend, but we all went away with friends, and most of these photos are from that birthday weekend away, and it was super fun. It was so nice using this kit to talk about this little holiday that we all went on, and I've got the most amazing group of friends, and so I'm very lucky when I get to spend time with them and document them in here. I managed to get everyone in this photo, which I don't know if you can tell properly. There you go, you can see it better now. Everyone was sort of on the lawn playing footy, so I just yelled at everyone to look at me. I managed to get them all there, which was good. This was also a stash week. Now, what I was doing at this stage, I was really jumping back and forth between the layouts. Like I was kind of working on what was inspiring me. And as a result, I accidentally had two layouts back to back that used predominantly stamping. This is my least favorite of the two. I don't dislike it, I just prefer the one that came next time. I think this one's just a bit busy for me. It's funny how like styles over time change, and as I was working on this, I was realizing I was being more drawn to like a minimalist style. So that's why this looks a bit busy to me. I feel like there needs to be more white space. I feel like there needs to be more photos of not people, but I still like how this turned out. It's the week that my auntie came to visit from South Africa for the first time since before COVID. So we were super excited to see her. And then I had work as well, and she came to our market, which was great. It was a really good market. It was the one that, I think Andrew and I had to run this one because Erin had a COVID, and so it was a bit freaky, but we managed it and we did fine. Moving on to the next week. So this is another week where I used a lot of my stamps, and I actually just much preferred this one. I played a lot with like the colours to make sure that the colours matched, and I love how this turned out. Documented some more books, documenting my auntie. On the other side, I talk about we had another market. So the thing with working in markets is that you often work weekends, and so a lot of my photos are of me at work, and Justin and Emma came to visit me, and it was lovely. Moving on. This was a June Stories by the Month from 2020, I think, and I didn't have a chance to use it, or 2021, and I didn't have a chance to use it in my 2021 album, and so I saved it, and I'm going to use it in this one. And I love this layout. This is potentially the other rival for my favorite layout of the year, because I used matching ink colors and backed these chipboard pieces with these matching ink colors, and that as a look, I love how that turned out. So the colors just make me so happy. They're a bit more muted, but they're still really, really beautiful. I love this photo. This is a photo that Emma actually took. So from here onwards, she actually takes a lot of the photos in the album, because she started to just want to take photos, which is great. It was the last week of my auntie here, so we had a goodbye lunch for her. What else happened? We went on a little walk. It was a long weekend. We did some baking. So yeah, just nice, and nothing too intense happened this week. It was just good. But this stage sorry about that. By this stage, I was starting to feel a lot better from like a mental point of view. So that was really nice. But obviously I hurt myself very soon after this, which wasn't fun. But like I said, I did all of these layouts in like October, November. So a lot of the earlier layouts would have had more emotive writing, I think, because I was kind of in the throes of depression, in the throes of like a low mood stuff. So these later layouts, they're happier, and so I see them as being happier, even the ones where I hurt myself. Moving on, this was a design team layout as well. I used Vicky Bouton products, and I used a lot of ink colors to bring in more hot pink, mainly because there was a lot of pink in this photo, and there was a lot of pink in this photo, and this photo, and in that photo. So I wanted to bring that hot pink, and it wasn't in this collection, so I bought it in using paint colors on these cards, ink colors on this one, and some stamping in hot pink. Moving on. Okay, so this is the week that I hurt myself. Now, I really love, this is using my stash, just items from my stash, but I used really matching colors, which I was quite happy with. This was Week in the Life last year. Now, I very inconveniently hurt myself during Week of the Life. It was on this day, but it was later on in this day. I lifted something very heavy at work, and I popped my back out, and I had a herniated disc. It was not fun. But so the fact is that I didn't finish my Week in the Life, but I still had, up until that point, a lot of photos. And so I had a lot of photos to document. It was kind of a sucky week, because the thing with the herniated disc, I don't know if anyone has had this before, but the pain doesn't start immediately. It slowly gets worse. So over the course of this week, I injured myself on the Wednesday, and the back pain just slowly got worse. I didn't realize until the Monday afterwards that it was really, really bad. But this was on the Sunday, and Justin bought me flowers because I was in pain. You can see there. So it was very annoying. Emma had to go to hospital because she got really, really sick, which I think definitely exacerbated my back, because I had to hold her for hours. But yeah, so I used all of these photos. I had a lot of photos to narrow down, and it was a lot. So that is at the end of June. I am going to leave this part of the walkout here, and then I'm going to jump in with the next week for the next video, because this is actually a lot shorter than this side. So I don't know if you can tell, but there's like a distinct difference. This is much bigger. But yeah, thank you very much for joining me for this video. I will be uploading the second one in a few days' time. And yeah, subscribe if you want to see more of this kind of thing. One of my aims of this year is to definitely upload more videos, and so far I've succeeded, so we will see how I continue tracking with that. It's only February, so look, we'll see. My personality type tends to be, we'll see how it goes. Like, I'm not very organised. So yeah, that's a long way to say goodbye for now, and I will see you all next week. Bye.